Thank you very much. Thank you all for your testimony. This hearing is critically important because we need to implement common sense, pro-growth tax and trade policies that will boost our economy, the businesses like those here today, and the American worker. I want to thank the International Longshoremen Association for being present here and the work that they do at this port. Steelworkers Union, thank you and your members for what they do. And of course our Port Authority police who are here to keep our port safe. I want to start with Mr. Atkins. While many industries were eventually able to return to former habits post-pandemic, the seaports continue to grapple with altered consumer patterns and a shifting global supply crisis. How do seaports continue to adapt to these supply chain patterns that have emerged post-pandemic?
As everyone has noticed on the way down to the site here, that we're pretty wide open at our facility here. Our volume year over year is down about 42% at this facility. If you look at what our volume is now over 2019, we're down about 15%. So what we're grappling with here is the consumer reaction post-pandemic. Once the pandemic hit and people were working from home, online purchasing went up dramatically. The shippers and the folks that own the cargo that everybody goes online and buys flooded the shores with material that we saw here. That added to the congestion that we saw going through all the ports and all the facilities. Now that things have returned back to whatever this new normal is, a lot of the cargo owners that had rushed to ramping up their supplies are now working down that inventory. So we see the decrease in numbers for the inventory work down that you see. And right now, the interest rates on mortgages and that you see on any kind of consumer credit is impacting one of the biggest purchasing areas, and that's home goods. Furniture by commodity is the #1 mover into the country, and with interest rates as high as they are for 30-year mortgages, people are not looking to trade in their 2 or 3% mortgage into larger houses or build new houses. So if you look at the furniture and home goods sector, that is down dramatically.
So you mentioned some of the causes of this, say, freight recession.
Sure.
What are some of the policies that you would like to see implemented that would help get this economy back on track, maybe pausing the interest rates and better trade policies to export more to build our GDP? What would you say are some of the things that could help?
Any of the beneficial moves that can be made to incentivize the export market will help not just the American worker, but will help the ports that we see here today. And overall, just the more we are tied so tightly to consumerism that, a healthier economy is what brings that through. So anything we can do to get more people employed, through the trade policies or whether it's enforcement, anything that gets people to work gets money into the economy system.
Great. How can we help streamline the process and assure that American businesses and workers have a reliable system to prevent delays at the ports that hurt both exporters and the port's bottom line?
Yeah, well, actually, there's many stakeholders in the supply chain that have to help with that. It was the inland distribution that caused a lot of what we saw during the pandemic and the supply chain crisis. Warehouses were full, distribution networks were full, so we saw that cargo back up into the ports. So anything, when you look at these large warehouse complexes, there just was not enough of them. And talking to our friends in the warehouse industry, there are a lot of regions that it does take quite a bit of, I won't say legislation, but maneuvering through the local ordinances and county ordinances just to get more warehouses built, to be able to get more cargo and velocity moving.
Well, thank you very much. You know, the House Republicans have put forward some great ideas on how we can reignite our economy, get people back to work requirements for some public benefits. If they're able-bodied, they could help stimulate the economy, work, produce, and I think that would help resolve some of your problems if we also do that in conjunction with smart pro-growth tax and trade policy, which we hope to work on a bipartisan manner. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Buchanan is recognized.